Oh, I almost forgot. Not wearing my goggles. You should always wear goggles while using power tools. Hi guys, I'm Dani. Welcome to my Sweet Digs Renovation. But before you come in, subscribe below. All right, let's get started. As you can see, my apartment is a little plain. I really want to spice it up, but I'm on a budget. So today, I'm going to be taking on the challenge of renovating it in 3 different ways for $150 each. For this DIY lighting fixture, you're gonna need a waste bin. I chose to keep it cohesive with my kitchen, so it's a black mesh, and it has a really thin top. I got this for like $3 at a whole market or whatever. In order to actually drill through the top, you're gonna need a drill, and this whole drill bit, I got it from Home Depot. It's about $11. So for your actual hanging light fixture, you're gonna need a hanging lamp. I got this for like $15 on Amazon. Super cheap, easy, it plugs into any outlet, and it's literally just a cord that you can hang your light bulb from. The size does matter, so you wanna make sure that your drill bit is smaller than the actual hanging light because it's gonna be hanging from the top here. You're gonna want a standard bulb to go in, and you can choose the like hue, luminosity, whatever. We're gonna be hooking these from the ceiling, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be using these to screw in the ceiling, and they're gonna line the top of the wall. That way it's out of sight, you don't see the cord, and it looks really nice and cohesive. We're also gonna need some paint because we're gonna paint the actual lighting cord so that you don't even see it, it's not there. It's gonna be awesome. Let's get to work. I've laid out some paper. You can do this anywhere. I'm doing it like in my physical kitchen. Now I'm gonna grab my actual hanging lamp, lay it out. I'm also gonna grab some painter's tape because we wanna keep this without getting any paint on it. And we're gonna go around it like this. And now we're gonna start painting. So honestly, I probably should be using a paintbrush, but I didn't have that at hand. So we're gonna use a roller. Instead, you just pop this sucker on. Let's get to work. It also doesn't need to be perfect because it's gonna be on the ceiling. Remember that wastebasket I showed you earlier? Now we're gonna use it. We're almost there. Oh yeah. Voila. All right, so our next step is we're going to grab this fun cord we painted earlier and take off all the blue tea. Awesome. Okay, I marked from the midway of this island because I want my lamp to be exactly halfway, which is 44 inches, and that's right here where I marked. So we're gonna drill another little hole. And we're gonna hook it up here, right at the mark we made earlier, so we know where we want it hanging. All right, now our final step is we're gonna take the light bulb and screw it in. Awesome, and now we can turn on our DIY light. Yay! And there you have it. I just completed my renovation. I did the industrial style this time, and I added a few more elements like this shelf, a little towel rack, and I even repurposed a light that was in another section of my apartment. I think it turned out pretty awesome. Now on to the next renovation. All right, for our next look, we're gonna go for boho chic. My apartment doesn't really have this style, so it's going to be maybe a clash, but we're gonna try. In order to do this look, you need lots of greenery, and my plants always die, so I did fake ones. You can buy them anywhere. We got these glass jars from the 99-cent store and some rope so we can hang them all around the apartment. The next look we're gonna try is some hanging frames, and notice I took the pictures out of the frames because that really makes a statement. Then we're gonna distress it, sand it down, paint it, and then finally hang it on our wall. You just need some nails, some wall anchors in case you're hanging some heavy paintings, and you don't have a stud. That's just about it, and we can get started. So in order to do this, we're gonna do a cool picture frame hanging wall mural kind of thing. And in order to do that, we're basically gonna take some frames. They're gonna be empty. We're gonna distress them. There's no real technique to this. So I'm gonna use some steel wool, some nails, a hammer maybe, and then we're gonna sand it down really quick, paint over it, and then hang them up. Okay, so we're gonna grab it. I'm gonna start with the steel wool just because it's probably gonna make the most impact right off the bat. So you can literally take it, start scrubbing that wood down. These frames right now have already a sheen on them from probably a previous owner. We did pick these up on Craigslist. They were so cheap. We don't want them to have any sort of shine or look new. Here we go. These actually came out better than I expected. So, fun thing about DIYs, there are no strict guidelines. I was gonna paint these, but now I'm thinking that I'm just gonna keep them as this old sanded moldy on the back picture frame. So I did already go through and make marks where I want them to overlap, but other than that, it's kind of a free-for-all, and it's honestly how you feel they look in the moment. So for this look, I added some boho elements, these floating shelves, which are on the iron pipes. We did a little bit of sanding and distressing of our paintings and hung those up, which was so easy and fun. We added a few elements of greenery and cleaned the place up. Now ready for my final and favorite look, the retro renovation. So in order to do this, it's so simple. The main item you're gonna need for this renovation is painter's tape. You want it to be a little bit on the thick side so that you're not getting paint splashes anywhere else and you're keeping it just on the portion of the wall you want. We're gonna lay the tape on, paint over it, and all we need is this beautiful cherry red paint and a standard white that matches the rest of my walls. As you can see, my walls are really white and they need some color, so I'm super excited to try this design. We're gonna use this long pole to get the parts that I'm definitely not tall enough to get. Oh yeah, baby. So since we are actually going to tape over this and paint over it completely in white again, we really don't need to go over it that much in red because the red is barely gonna be peeping out. So that's kind of the fun part about this design, is that it's just like a little accent. Right now it seems like a lot because we're painting the entire wall, but as it comes together, this bottom coat won't be that important. So we're basically finished here. The reason that I was able to leave the corners really without the red paint is because I'm gonna be going over them with white. And so I wanna create a white box around this entire thing, which is why there's no point in putting red paint up there if I don't need to. We're gonna be adding some vinyl to the legs of our table just to give it a little kick of red so that it matches with the rest of the scene. Another option would be to spray paint the legs or just straight up paint them since they're wood. But I was hoping to use this table in another way at another time. So the sticker allows you to peel off when you're done. Now that our paint has dried, make sure it's 100% dry because you don't want the tape to be pulling the paint off the wall. So now we're gonna start building out our geometric pattern. We wanna use a lot of triangles and weird shapes that connect, but there's no real rhyme or reason, so you can just have fun with it. Now that we have our geometric formation on the wall, we're gonna go over it with white paint. One of the finishing touches on this project is gonna be this little light bulb, and we're not gonna put any shade or anything, but we did paint the cord red to give it a little flare. So I'm just gonna hook it right back up here. We have the same mark as the last time. I bought these amazing red leather chairs from Craigslist for only $50 for two. The leather's in great condition and the color matches my wall perfectly. Now that our paint is dry, our second coat, we're gonna start peeling off the tape and revealing the masterpiece underneath. Or it could not be a masterpiece, but we'll find out. Let's go. Woo, we did it! Wrapped our third and final design, and I think I was right. This is my favorite. I really like the wall design, and I think the red accents around the room really tie it together. For $150, we got this whole setup. So that completes our 3 renovations. The retro definitely took the cake for me, but boho turned out much cuter than I thought it was going to. Let me know in the comments below which one you would vote on. Thank you for watching Refinery29. To watch more videos, click here, and to subscribe, click here.